Hello, hello, and thank you for joining me for today's Black Girl on Campus Lunch and Learn series installment. I'm Monica, and I am the founder of Black Girl on Campus, also known as BGOC, where I take the overwhelm out of all things college for African American girls who will be first-generation college students. You see, I started Black Girl on Campus back in 2017 because I too was a first generation college student and can absolutely relate to what you're feeling right now. I know what it means to be confused and unsure on my journey to college, once I got into college, and once I started out into my professional career. What I'm here to do is help you feel confident, empowered, clear, and just flat out ready to slay the college situation as a first gen out in these streets. So what is Lunch and Learn? Lunch and Learn is a few minutes with me doing a brief teaching on a subject with a takeaway or two that you can implement right away in either college planning or success as a first generation college student. I don't go long. These videos are meant to be bite-sized for you to take what you need and, more importantly, implement what you watch and hear. Does that sound good? Awesome. Let's get started on today's topic, which you can see on the slide says, how to decide which colleges to apply to. Now, the cost and do they have your preferred major are always at the top of students' lists. But what about your future, your long-term plans? What do you hope to achieve during your years in college, your 4 or 5 years, depending on the type of program that you take as an undergraduate? Do you want to get an internship? Do you want to travel abroad? Do you want to go to grad school? How will the schools you're considering applying to help you reach these goals? What will you do while you're in college? Yes, of course, yes, you're there for an education above all things, anything. But you won't be in class or studying all of your waking hours. What non-academic activities would you like to be involved in? Do the colleges you're looking at offer clubs or groups that interest you? If they don't, how hard is it creating a new recognized student organization? Because after all, I know if you're watching this that you're a leader. And if it doesn't exist, how can you create it? Because leaders create, right? How will these colleges help you expand your horizons, expose you to new things? What are your career goals? How will the colleges you're considering applying to help prepare you for your professional career upon graduation? I know that's a lot of questions, but it's not meant to overwhelm you because that's why I'm here as BGOC to help you not get overwhelmed. But these are just questions to think about and put on a list, write them down and think about it. Like, where do I stand? Where do I fit in these places and in these questions? And how will the schools that I apply to help me achieve these goals? What appeals to you about a college? There are 6 things here, and I'm going to run through them really quickly. The school size. What is your ideal learning environment? Me, I loved being in a big situation, like in a big classes. That works for me. Maybe that's not your thing. Do you thrive in big classes with hundreds of students? Or will smaller class sizes drive you crazy? The location of a school is important. Is the city-urban landscape your vibe, or would you prefer a more suburban or even rural backdrop? I remember a friend went to a school way, way upstate New York, and it was super rural. I thought Albany was crazy. This was super duper rural. All I saw around was farmland and everything, and then the college was there. But it was kind of cool, and it worked for him. But where do you want to spend your 4 years, 4 or 5 years? Again, depending on the type of program that you get into. Admissions. It's important to have 3 categories of schools to which you apply. You've probably heard this, but I'll reiterate. Dream schools, as long as you think you can get in, realistic schools, and safety schools. How many students are admitted every year? Based on your admissions chances, your GPA, your test scores, etc., Where do you fall in the number of students admitted every year? Is it probable? Is it, I don't know. Where is it? How are you hoping to build your resume while you're at that school? As mentioned in the previous slide, you won't be studying or in class all the time. What can you do to add to your resume? What clubs can you join? What organizations can you be a part of? I mean, I was on the, where was I? I was in the radio station. I was in a sorority. I was in student life because I was a student assistant and ultimately a resident assistant. I had a work study job. Those things were all added to my resume. So when I started applying for jobs, I was able to not only have things on my resume, but I'd also learned skills that were transferable into my professional career. Can you work on campus? And if so, where? Now, you're going to realize calling home for money to be added to your account will get old really quick. Like, it got old really quick for me, like asking my mom and dad to put money in my bank account so I could run to the ATM and get out $20 here, $40 there for whatever I was doing. And that's what prompted me to go get a work study job. And then ultimately I got other jobs. I went off campus. I worked at the mall. There were so many opportunities to work on campus, though. And if you can, I would say that because you just save money and not have to pay for car fare, bus, or whatever to get to the mall, to get to some restaurant. Well, now, of course, if it's going to pay you more, then it might make sense, but you have to do that cost analysis to make sure, yes, it's going to pay you more money, but is that money being eaten up because you have to pay for transportation to get there? But again, there's so many opportunities to work on campus. Where are they? So you can have spending money to order out when the food in the cafeteria gets tired, and because it will get tired, trust me, for social activities that you want to do, hang out, parties, whatever. And honestly, to contribute to your ticket home monthly, if you're a commuting student, like here in New York, there's Metro cards, and but then you want to do different things with your Metro card and all that stuff. But, to be able to contribute back to your ticket, your bus ticket, your plane ticket, you're going to want to have money potentially to do that. Adjusting, so big. What do the colleges that you're considering applying to, how do they help freshmen, especially first generation freshmen, adjust and settle into college life? Because it's very, very different. I can't stress that enough. You hear it, it sounds like a thing, it becomes like a worm in your ear. Like, okay, I know, college is different than high school, but it really, really is. So how are the colleges that you're considering going to help you settle in? And being first gen is a whole different thing. As a first generation college student, this is probably one of the biggest questions that you should ask yourself when considering what institutions to add to your dream, realistic, and safety schools. Adjusting is hard as a freshman, and as a first gen freshman, it is doubly hard. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to make it too much, but it is hard. I had the benefit of having a really good friend from my high school. I actually was in elementary, junior high, and high school with him, and he ended up attending Albany with me. And he had siblings that attended college. But I remember the excited uneasiness that I had arriving on campus and starting out that very first week. I cannot tell you how happy I was to have my friend there as a buffer. But everybody's not going to have a friend from high school that can be there with them. And yes, you'll make friends when you get to college, but you still got to get through that first week of getting settled in with your roommate and stuff like that. I encourage first gen students to attend a university that has built-in supports for them, as that will honestly be half the battle of getting settled and succeeding. So I'll put a link in the caption for a free resource that I created. It's called Colleges Committed to First Gen Student Success. It's a comprehensive list of over 200 colleges and universities that has all the information you need: the tuition, how much it costs to go there, the average freshman GPA, the SAT, ACT score requirements, and a lot more. And these schools have dedicated programming and demonstrated commitment to first-gen student success. The resource that I created is free. It's an Excel file that you can copy and just reference and search and all those things. free. If it's free, it's for me. So it's free. So go on ahead and click the link in, excuse me, in the caption to get it as you decide where you're going to spend your time applying to college, because that's a process in and of itself. So you might as well have as many resources as possible to help you figure out how to whittle down your list again to dream, realistic, and safety. So that's it. I told you I keep these short. I hope that you found today's Lunch and Learn helpful. In addition to the free resource that I just mentioned, I'll add some other helpful links in the caption below that, excuse me, that will be helpful to you on your first generation college student journey. And if you're in 11th or 12th grade, or you're a first year student in college, your first gen, of course, I invite you to join my membership community. Gosh, that's a tongue twister. Join my membership community, College Knowledge University, where you will have access to me and college admissions and other professional experts that will help make your journey into and while in college a success. Listen, I'm all about college student success. That's what I keep talking about. I keep saying it because that's my dream, my passion, my goal with what I do at BGOC. So the link for CKU is in the description box below as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time for Lunch and Learn. Bye for now.